Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'akol niyeh bidvaro. It is only 2 weeks that we celebrated a very happy moment in the Jewish calendar. The name is, of course, Purim, the anniversary of a great victory of our ancestors. You know, there was a group that wanted to annihilate us, and thank God we saved ourselves. How are they going to annihilate us? They drew lots. It says that Haman came before the king Achashverosh, and he told him, there is a nation here among all the peoples that you rule that are different from everybody else, and it would be good if we get rid of them. And he, by drawing lots, decided on which day the Jewish people were going to be annihilated. So Haman is really the enemy of the Jewish people, and when we read the story of the Megillah, we make all sorts of noise to drown out the name of Haman because he wanted to destroy us. What about the king? Was he a benevolent king? Well, not exactly, because Haman couldn't have proposed to do what he did unless the king gave his approval. And the king certainly gave his approval. But thank God that he had chosen Esther to be his queen. And Esther came before him and he annulled the decree. Or did he annul the decree? If you read the Megillah, he says something else. When Esther tells him, I'm Jewish and they want to kill me and they want to kill my people, please send another letter, another edict that not to do it. Don't do what I said the first time. The king suddenly says, no, that can't happen, because once I wrote something, that cannot be revoked. Why not? Maybe the king was playing a different game. You know what he did? He said, let the Jews arm themselves and let them fight for their life. And in effect, that's what our ancestors did. They fought and they were able to come out victorious. So Purim is not really a very happy holiday. Why? Because it shows that our fate, our destiny, was in the hands of despots. It was a question of lots. Yes or no, uncertainty to the nth degree. Maybe that is why our rabbis tell us that we have to drink on Purim, ad de lo yada. We get so embriagated, we get drunk that we can't tell the difference between blessed Mordechai and cursed be Haman, because our destiny hung on a thread. You know, there's a very strange coincidence. The name of Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, in the Bible is referred to in the Torah. It's called Yom Kippurim, in the plural. So our rabbis say, since there are no dots in the Torah, Kippurim can be read also as Kippurim, like Purim. Even Yom Kippur is like Purim. How can Yom Kippur be like Purim? Yom Kippur is very clear. It's the Day of Atonement. How do you obtain atonement? We say it in our prayers. Teshuvah, you know, a return to our sources. Be sorry for the errors you committed. Tefillah, prayer to God, bare your heart before God, and gemilut chasadim. Do something good for your fellow man. This will ensure that nothing bad will happen to you. I used to sing along with my father, who used to lead the services in Lima, Peru. We were 3 brothers and we were his choir. And I remember his voice, because what I know how to do in prayer, that is all that I learned it all from my father. And I remember, it's not teshuvah, it's uteshuvah and teshuvah, utefillah and tefillah, utzedakah and tzedakah. It's not as if these 3 ingredients, teshuvah, tefillah, and tzedakah, ensure everything. There's something else also, and teshuvah. There's something before that. What is that something? Well, there's the uncertainty. Maybe it means whether you were a good husband. Maybe whether you were a good son. Maybe you were loyal to your friends. Maybe you never betrayed anybody. Maybe you always told the truth. Maybe there's something else that we're not taking into consideration that is going to ensure that we have a great year. So I just want to underline that there's a certain amount of uncertainty in everything we do. Even with our best of intentions, there can always arise a problem. However, one very important lesson from Purim: the events of Purim happened outside of Israel. And just like today, Iran, Persia of antiquity wants to erase the Jewish people off the map of the world. So in those days they try to do the same, but there's one big difference. Today we have a state of Israel. In the diaspora, maybe there is greater uncertainty, but in Israel we can really decide our own destiny. But as the name Kippurim, or for Yom Kippur, indicates, even in the state of Israel, we still need the providence of God. There are always some uncertainty. There is less uncertainty in Israel than outside, but still there's some things that maybe we cannot prevent 100%, and we always, as then as in the future, will always depend upon the love of God for the Jewish people, because He chose us to be a light unto the nations, and He is going to make sure that we survive so that we can fulfill our destiny.